Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and yes, from the title, we are doing an NRL grading video, and what that means is I'm going to be grading the bottom 8 from this season. As you know, it's finals already going on with the Panthers, Eels, Storm, Raiders, Sharks, Cowboys, and we've got Roosters, Rabbitohs today. But I'm going to I'm going to grade the bottom 8. I'm going to go from 16 till 9. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grade an A+, down to probably a C-, and then I'll probably do a fail. So I'll do A+, probably do a D, and then from D to lower is a fail. So when we go through, we'll start off with 16th place, the Tigers. Now, their season has been not very good, as you know. Their season hasn't been good at all. Like, there's injuries coming in with this team. Their losses have been... They've only won... If I just look here, they've only really won... They've won 4 games. So they've won 4 games out of the 25 rounds. So when you're looking at that, it's nothing... Like, there's nothing there for this team. Like, they nearly beat Dragons. They lost Dragons 24-22. They were up at one point, and then they just lost it. So Tigers, they had a flogging of a loss against Roosters, 72-6. Like, all the losses Tigers have had, they've either led the game they've led the whole game, and then they've just slept and then let the other team come back. Same with this game. The Tigers lost to the Cowboys by 27-26. That was a cracker of a game. They scored in with like 2 minutes to go, and then Valentine Holmes kicks a penalty goal. Like, that's just amazing, like unbelievable. Then Tigers lost against Panthers. Tigers scored in the 68th minute, and Panthers scored in the 73rd. Like, they're doing good leads, but then they just fall away. They lost to the Warriors 22-2. They lost to the Bulldogs 36-12. Like, this team hasn't really got a lot of players. They don't have a lot of players in this team. Can I just say? Their really star player in this team is either Adam Dewey or Dane Laurie. So I've got to give this Tigers team, there's no really good players, there's no veteran players in this team, I don't think. Other than James Tarmo, which you could say is a veteran player, but even in that, they don't really do anything. So I'm going to give this team an absolute fail. This team is a fail. You could just see it. It's a fail, absolute, no chance of coming back and winning this at all. Moving on. The Warriors. What you got to say about this team? This Warriors team has gone up and down through the whole thing. The Warriors are playing away. They've been playing away from New Zealand for nearly a season now. They've been playing away in Australia, haven't played a home game in ages, so their first home game they've ever played was I think, against the Raiders, wasn't it? No. I think their first home game was in, like, round 15. No, we're still going back to, like, this game. I think their first home game... Okay, I'll tell you this. Sorry, I was just trying to find the first home game. So their first home game was against... First home game was against the Tigers, and they won 22-2. So you're seeing that. They love playing at home. The Warriors, when they're playing in New Zealand in front of the Auckland fans, the fans are up them. They go really well when they play at home, particularly against big teams. Like, they lost 12-24 against the Storm. Yes, you get that. But then they won 42-18 against the Bulldogs. So they're beating the easy teams, which is not what the Tigers are doing. The Warriors are beating easy teams at home because they've got Sean Johnson, they've got Reece Walsh, you could say, Daryl Tesniak. So really good team for the Warriors. But the big game we've got to look at here is against the Titans, round 25. They were up 26. They were up like 26-8 at halftime or something like that, or like 8 or 20-8 at halftime, and then they just came back and lost. So the Warriors, I'm gonna kind of they're not really gaining anything. I haven't seen the Warriors in the final in ages. Like, it's been some time since the Warriors have come and been in the 8. So I'm going to give this a fail. because they're not gaining anything. The Warriors aren't improving. They aren't being better. They're just staying the simple bottom 5 team, can I just say. So I'm going to give it a fail. They won 6 games, nothing really to do there. Moving on, along with the Knights, it's also honestly a fail, I think. Oh, would you say a fail? I don't think so. First off, let's just go through their season. They have won. They won 6 games out of the 25. What I do want to particularly look at here for you guys is the Dragons went on a really good run. Can I just say, they won their first 2 games and then lost, one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 losses in a row after a 2-game win streak at the start of the season. They were first for some time. But then they lost to Panthers, then Sharks, and you got big names like the Eels, the Storm, etc. Then they just started losing games after time. When you start off good, you tend to get cocky, and then you start losing games. So the Knights are the kind of team that you don't know what they're going to be like. You don't know if are they going to win against a good team? Are they going to lose and go sloppy? But what their key player was, I'm honestly going to say this. Their key player for the backs is Edgercly. I know you might be thinking, don't want to say that, it's mainly Anthony Milford or whatever. Edgercly has scored nearly a try in every of the last 5 games, I think. He is a key for the Knights' season success future. Yes, they finished 14th. I'm going to give it, they had a chance to make the 8. They really had a chance. But when it came to round 19, I think they started to know that they're not going to make it, so they started not really trying that much. I'm going to give this Knights team, I'm going to give this a straight D+. I'll give it a D+. I just think the Knights don't have anything else to look forward to as much as you know, really. That's really it. Titans. Nothing really to say here. They were 16th for most of the season, and then they moved up to 13th at the end of the season. They won 6 games as well. They won 6 games, so they were really bad, but then they started to come late. You want to do the opposite. You want to really be in the middle from round 15 to 20 or 24. You want to play good. They were bad from round 1 to 15, and then they started to get better. So this Titans team can go further. They're getting a lot of players next year. They're getting some really good players next year. I really think this team can go further. They beat the Warriors after down. So this is a good team. I'm going to give this a C-. This team, their season wasn't good, but it also was good in some big wins. Gonna be a C-. That's really what to talk about there for the Titans. Bulldogs now finished 12th. Better than last year, I think. I got my prediction also on the side if you want to see what I predicted for their season. The green means I was 1 or 2 spots the same, and the red means I was way off. So, Bulldogs, I think I predicted them for 14th, I think. I'll just have a look on the screen. But, yeah, there's nothing really to say about this team. Really, they've lost big games. They've won some big games. Sorry guys, I'm back. Very quickly, Bulldogs, their season was pretty good. They've improved a lot when they get their signings of Matt Burton, Josh Adokar, all those guys. Getting those players back. As you know, when their coach was getting rid of, they gained some players. Matt Burton, of course, he is a star. Adokar on the wing. Of course, again, great there. Matt Duffy, even better. So, it's a C- still. I think it's still a C-. There's no really improvement. There's definitely improvement, but not enough to... They nearly made the 8. Honestly, if you look at it, there's not many points there. Kind of there is, but anyway. Moving on, Sea Eagles. Their team, shocking after the Pride round. Shocking after round 19. Absolute shocking. There's nothing more to doubt about. They won 9 games. I tipped them to be like 3rd or something like that. Like, after the Pride round, when was it? Was it round 19, the Pride round? No, we're at round 20, wasn't it? Was it round... I think it was round 20 was the Pride round. Yeah, so round 20 was the Pride round. Then after that, they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in a row, dropped it out of the 8. Shocking. It's a D+. This Seagulls team was so good, and then after they decided to do Pride round, they just shocked down. Everyone was shocked. I'm shocked at how they didn't make the 8. They're a bad team. If Seagulls want to get better, they got to keep the coach and get better players. Injuries stop them. Tom Trbojevic at the end of the season. Tom Trbojevic only played like 2 games, or even like 5 at the start of the round. So, looking at that, Seagulls, not that good. Moving on. Dragons, what is this team? This team, I predicted to be, I think, a bit lower. Maybe I think I predicted them to be 10th. Anyway, this team is good. This is a good team, can I just say? This team needs to improve a little bit more, I think. This team is not an improving team. This team needs to get better players, I reckon. They can still win big games, but they can't win the big games against the top 8 team like Cowboys, Sharks, Seagulls, Roosters. Like, they're a close game, but they need to get better players. They need to improve. If everyone's saying this is an improved season, they need a progress season, they're not making much progress. I think next season they need to get better players, do more progress. And their star player is Ben Hunt. I think Ben Hunt is getting Dally M this year. He's their best player, can I just say. So you wouldn't say it's a fail, would you? I wouldn't give it a fail. I would give it a C. I'm going to give it a C because they nearly made the... Look at 26 points. 8th place had 30. So if they just won against the Raiders, that would have been 28 points. If they won against the Broncos, they would... so you pretty know what that means. Anyway, Dragons, C minus. Is that what it says? C minus, whatever. Moving on. Last place now. 9th place, you could say the Broncos. What is this? If the Broncos want to be a top 8 team, they need to play like a top 8 team. They lost 60-12 against the Storm, and they lost 53-6 against the Eels. They signed Adam Reynolds. If they want to keep Adam Reynolds, they need to start playing like a top 8 team. If they want to start to play better, they've got to sign better players, or even improve. They're getting Adam Reynolds. You're signing this good guy. They need to play like him. Like they're not. They're really not. So they have good guys. They've got Oates, Martin, Mann, Harrington, Gamble, Farnworth, Carrigan, Flegler, Cobbo, Cable. Like, listen to this team. They have Adam Reynolds as well. If this team wants to go on and become a top 8 team, they've got to improve. They need to start playing like a top 8 team. If you want to keep Adam Reynolds, you got to either sign better players or play like a real team and keep your winning going. You can't lose 60-12 and then lose 53-6 and predict you're going to make the 8. You're not. Because, yes, okay, we lost 2 games by a lot. We're still going to make the 8. But look what the Raiders, they came up behind and won. They got to be like the Raiders, who beat the Storm in the first round of the finals by 8. Storm are out now. Broncos, what are you doing? It's a D. It's a straight D. Like, there's nothing really to talk about there. It's either a D or a D+, or even a C-. It's not a pass at all. Anyway, that's it, guys, for the video. Bottom 8 done. Top 8 I'll do when the grand final's over, you can say. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video, alright? Peace.